By the time this timer runs out, I'm going to show you how to create a digital marketing strategy.
Grab a pen and some paper. Let's go.
We're going to start with some marketing fundamentals, then we're going to break down a strategy for each different digital channel. And by the way, you can use this exact process to design a marketing strategy for any business, whatever you sell. Now, the team here at Exposure Ninja has had some incredible results recently for a bunch of our bariatric clinic clients. So today we're going to be designing a marketing strategy for a made-up chain of bariatric clinics. Now, this type of healthcare business can be notoriously difficult to market because of ad restrictions, and it can be quite challenging to rank on Google. So we need to make sure we're marketing this business in an ethical way, but you know I love a challenge. I remember everything that we're going to be doing today works for any business, so hopefully seeing a marketing strategy for a challenging business like this come together magically before your eyes is going to inspire you to go and put together your marketing strategy. Now, we're going to need a backstory for this business for reasons that we'll come to later, so let's just imagine that this fictional chain of bariatric clinics was put together by someone who'd had bariatric surgery themselves, but they'd found it really difficult to find a clinic that spoke in plain English and didn't just show them before and after pictures of weight loss. They became friends with a bariatric surgeon who supported their business, and the two of them decided to go and set up some bariatric clinics together. So, where do we start?
Let's get more traffic.
Nah, not even close. We might be on the clock, but I'm going to need to slow you down. We're not going to do anything until we've checked out what competitors in this space are up to. We can do this by Googling our main target keyword, bariatric clinic. Now, if you're offering services to a specific area, you can include that in your search, like bariatric clinic London, for example. Now, the sites that are ranking well have lots of pictures of people after surgery, quotes about how the surgery has changed their lives, and homepage headings talking about change. Now, it looks like all the other clinics are offering payment plans, so it's going to be really important that we're clear in our marketing that we offer this option too. Tonic has some great stuff on their site, like customer testimonials, this checklist of what's included in their aftercare versus other clinics, and this interactive map. So we might want to take inspiration from them for our own website and content. Now, one thing I've noticed is that the focus of all of these websites seems to be on before and after pictures focused on purely appearance. But this one, Phoenix Health, actually focuses on the activities that their patients are able to do after surgery. So what if in our marketing strategy, we chose to focus on the activities that patients were able to do, rather than just the appearance that most of our competitors are going to be focusing on? This would help us stand out against competitors, and it would be consistent with our founder's story, which would give us more credibility.
Great, but what's next?
So using competitor research like this, you can begin to build up a bit of a story for what the brand is about. A great brand, which includes how the company looks, how you talk, and the story behind the business, can be a great way to differentiate yourself from competitors. For this chain of bariatric clinics, we're going to be focusing on the story behind why the founders chose to start this company.
But I don't have a founder story.
Don't panic, just focus on the uniqueness of your business, what makes you special. Anything that's worth talking about which no one else is doing. Our fictional founder wanted a clinic that focused on the impacts the surgery could have on their life, spoke plain language that they understood, and was honest about the surgery and recovery timelines. So we need to decide how to communicate this in our branding and our content. Starting with the tone of voice for the business, we want to be friendly, approachable, and not speak with jargon, but we also want to come across as knowledgeable. After all, these clinics offer surgery for normal people, not surgical experts. They won't know all the terminology and might be put off if they don't understand exactly what's being sold to them. If they don't understand some of the wording that's being used, they may even make the assumption that they're not ready to purchase, or what's being sold just isn't right for them. To show that the business is credible, we want high quality photography of the surgeons who work in the clinic, and maybe some pictures of them in action. We also want to make sure we're showing our results, but remember, this business's point of differentiation isn't just about the weight loss aspect, it's about what you're able to do and the activities that you can perform. So we want to make sure that the images we use reflect that. So we want to use plenty of pictures of past patients doing activities that they wouldn't have been able to do prior to the surgery. We'll also include video and written testimonials from customers, so potential patients are reassured that this surgery is going to have exactly the impact that they want. We're now in a pretty good place with our branding and positioning, but we can take it a step further. Next, we need to... Just like you can take your marketing further by requesting a free website and marketing review from the team here at Exposure Ninja. It's completely free, just takes a few minutes for you to fill in a questionnaire, and you'll get back a 15-minute video recorded by one of the expert team showing you exactly where to prioritize your digital marketing. So go to exposureninja.com/review. You can take it a step further by designing customer personas. Don't worry, we're almost at the traffic bit. The best way to design customer personas is actually to talk to them and design them based on your actual customers. And while doing this, you can also ask them what drew them to your business, as well as what they didn't like so much. Now, in our fictional interviews with our fictional customers, they told us that they really liked the business, but they still found the text a little bit too wordy and technical. They felt like they needed to talk to someone else just to understand the procedure fully. But the founder's story was compelling enough that they went and booked a call anyway. Let's imagine that the call to action on the website was start now. Well, maybe these customers said they found the idea of clicking start now just a bit too forward. Maybe they would have preferred to watch a video with a bit more information about the procedures and what to expect.
But what if we're pre-revenue?
If your business is pre-revenue, then you can either go to competitors to identify your customer personas, or you can do market research, look at things like Reddit and Quora to understand the different groups of people that might be buying your product or service.
But what if my assumptions are wrong?
Remember, none of this is set in stone. Your positioning and branding will evolve over time, and so will your customer persona types. The final step before diving into our wider digital marketing strategy is to identify exactly what it is that makes your business stand out from your competitors by using the Exposure Ninja positioning framework. This step helps to make sure that you're really clear on exactly what your USPs are. The positioning framework looks like this: problem, solution, differentiation. Now, using our bariatric clinic example, we've identified that the problem is that people want to lose weight and keep it off. Our solution is that we offer a surgery which helps with this. Our differentiation is that we speak plain English, we focus on other benefits than just the weight loss, and we have a really compelling founder's story. Now we've got this stuff in place, we have a great foundation to start focusing on finding the right digital channels that are going to generate us the highest ROI and bring more website traffic. Now, depending on your business's goals and current situation, there's a few different ways that you can be driving traffic.
Well, I've seen a few businesses get amazing results from SEO, so I'm going to put all my time into that.
Can't deny, SEO is a god-tier marketing channel, but let's imagine that your main priority right now is fast ROI. Well, what you might want to do is put some short-term focus into PPC so that you begin driving some revenue, which can then fund a greater push into SEO and content marketing. Now, because our imaginary chain of bariatric clinics is still relatively new to digital marketing, we're going to build out an extensive pay-per-click campaign to start driving customers to the website as quickly as possible. But of course, whether we're running SEO or pay-per-click, one really important piece of research is keyword research, i.e. identifying the particular keywords that your customers and potential customers are going to be searching for if they're looking for what you sell. Now, the best way to do this is to use an SEO tool like SEMrush. And by the way, you can get a free 30-day free trial of SEMrush at thankyouninjas.com. You're welcome. But we can also use our competitors from earlier for inspiration too. And this is really important because for many businesses, including bariatric clinics, the phrase that people might be searching for might not necessarily be the main priority keyword, for example, bariatric clinic. By putting a competitor's URL into SEMrush, we can see both the keywords that they're ranking for that are bringing them traffic and the keywords that they're advertising against. So this competitor's ranking for things like weight loss surgery UK, weight loss surgery financing, and local terms like gastric sleeve cost Birmingham. So you can be optimizing your website for these sorts of terms and maybe doing some content marketing as well. And while you're waiting for that work to start paying off, you can put some budget behind these terms in search ads to start driving traffic immediately. Now, we can also see other businesses running ads for these search terms, which does reassure us that these terms are fairly likely to be profitable. And of course, we can use the copy in these ads to take lessons and take inspiration from. For example, what are the USPs that they're pushing and how would we stand out against these ads? Now, of course, we do need to be fairly careful running ads for a business like this on social media because it is a fairly niche service. We don't necessarily want to be casting a wide net and running loads of ads to everyone because it's just simply not going to be relevant for a large group of people. So we need to be sure that these ads are set up to target people who are interested in weight loss. There's also tons of opportunity for running retargeting and remarketing ads, i.e. running ads to people who've already been on our website to get them back. And we might encourage people towards a secondary call to action like download an ebook or get a free guide. Of course, pay-per-click alone doesn't make a fantastic marketing strategy. What we really want to do is combine paid and organic sources. Paid gives us the surgical targeting, whilst organic gives us the volume without having to pay for every click. So we're also going to want to start putting an SEO strategy in place.
How long does it take for SEO to work?
Well, this largely depends where you're at now and how good your competitors are at this. We generally tend to recommend allowing 6 months from the time that you start really putting energy into creating content, getting links, and optimizing your website. But, if you just post a couple of blogs and then buy 100 links off Fiverr and then just hope for things to work, then you might be waiting a little bit longer than 6 months. But if you're going up against weak competitors and you put loads of energy into amazing content, getting some great links, then you might see results much more quickly.
How do I write great, useful content?
We can start by using the keyword research that we did earlier when we were looking at what sort of phrases do we want to rank for and what sort of phrases are our competitors ranking for and bidding against with their ads. Now for our fictional clinics, we noticed that weight loss surgery UK and weight loss financing were phrases that we wanted to target. So the best type of content that we could create to target these phrases would be really well written, detailed service pages. So we create a page about our weight loss surgery options, and we'd also create a really detailed page about the different financing options available too. That's going to be much more likely to rank for that term than a more generic page which only casually mentions financing. And we've also found competitors targeting informational terms like, is gastric bypass reversible? But some of the content that they're getting ranked here is really kind of second rate and a bit short. So that tells me that this might be an approach that we want to take, but we just need to absolutely dominate the competitors by making much more detailed, useful and interesting posts. Now we can also use the tool like SEMrush or also ask to identify the questions that people are asking if they're interested in this topic. For example, just giving us these types of topics, we can then write content for these and we can click on these to go a level deeper as well. So in just a couple of minutes, we've identified loads of different topics that we can write content for on our website to get ranking and get organic traffic. Now, before we start investing more in PPC or working hard on our SEO, we need to make sure that we got a solid website in place.
I already have a website.
And how is it converting? Thought so. We regularly speak to business owners that think they need more SEO or they need to improve their PPC campaign performance, when in reality they have a website which is just simply not ready for more traffic. You might be getting traffic, but if it's not converting, getting more traffic isn't really going to solve your issues. Some of the areas that we'll focus on here are the headlines being used on the website, making sure they're really calling out and resonating with the target audience. The calls to action that are being offered, are they really compelling and exciting to visitors? And the overall look and feel of the website, does it actually reflect how good the business is, or does it look a bit rubbish? Let's start with thinking about the call to action that we're going to use on our totally real website. Now, we already know from our customer research that some customers really feel like they need to talk to someone, or they feel a bit intimidated being asked to start now. So we need a nice, gentle call to action, but one that allows people to speak to an expert so they can start to make that decision process. So by using a call to action like book a free consultation and explaining exactly what that consultation is going to include, we can make sure we're doing a good job of converting website traffic into leads. We might also put together a guide on weight loss surgery, including stories from previous patients, and we could offer this through a secondary call to action that's something like read patient stories or find out more about our weight loss surgery. This could then have an email capture, which would allow us to capture email addresses of people who are maybe thinking about this procedure, but aren't yet ready to book a proper consultation. Now, it's challenging to make a social media strategy that works for any business involving surgery, let alone weight loss surgery, but challenge breeds creativity. For our bariatric clinics, we have the opportunity to focus on patient success stories. We can share how people felt after their surgery and the things that they're able to do now. This content can include videos of people bungee jumping or other high energy activities with a voiceover from the patient explaining how they're able to do this stuff now. Now, a clinic like this doesn't have to have loads of posts. We also need to be mindful of cost here, but they need to have something that demonstrates how awesome life is afterwards. Okay, let's talk about email. Email marketing is an ideal strategy to be able to connect with people who maybe aren't sure if this is the right option for them yet. Now, it's important to know that in a sensitive industry like this, none of our marketing can be about reducing people's self-worth. Quite the opposite. We can use email marketing to inform customers about the different options available to them to help them make a great decision. Think answering the most frequently asked questions and concerns. Now, surgery is a big decision, so we have to be mindful that we're going to need a long email sequence here, because this is typically going to be something that's going to take people longer to make a decision than a much shorter impulse purchase. So getting people onto an email list and talking to them over a period of time as they're coming to make this decision means that we can be alongside them that whole time. And we can also use email marketing to follow up with people after the purchase or after the surgery. This allows us to tap into referral marketing and also make sure we're collecting reviews for the different review platforms.
Wow, that was fast.
One of the most difficult parts of coming up with a marketing strategy is actually identifying exactly what your customers want and the messages that are going to really resonate with them. Once you've got that, actually the rest of it becomes a bit easier. So if you've been putting off producing your marketing strategy or tweaking one that you think isn't really working, you have no excuse, sorry. If you need more inspiration, this video explains exactly how to get digital marketing working for you this year.